connection ball here is around 2010. Here's Justin Verlander with the connection ball, and I think if you would ask Justin Verlander, that had really helped him tremendously in the development of on his journey coming back from an injury to his core, and his arm action changed a little bit. It got a little bit big and draggy, and the ball in the one position really did, I think, have an influence on him on winning his second Cy Young Award. But there are some people that say this was not good for Justin Verlander because he was greater than 90, and that's the way he naturally does it. If you follow the way the ranch does it, we do not dictate exactly where anybody should be because everybody is unique and very different. We have them experiment and play with these tools so that just very much like the eye doctor who takes you in and goes, is this better or is this better? Is this better or is this better? And using the tools in that way, the body starts to go, you know what, I like it that way better than I like it the other way. Right now, I will tell you, Justin likes the ball in the 2 position, which is underneath underneath his arm, the ball underneath his arm, better than he does in the 1. And that's very common that people have different courses of discovery, and it's quite frequent that people change as their body adapts and changes. The need for that tool diminishes. We say here at the ranch we never want the tool to be a crutch. We want it to be a facilitator, a teacher, a stimulus to help you feel where you should be. So we cannot go any further with our story about the connection ball or the connection tools without talking about Eric Bender. Eric Bender was the very first a guinea pig of mine. This was around 2007, 2008, all the way up to 2010. Eric is now the assistant general manager of the Cleveland Guardians, and Eric came to us and trained here and had a very pronounced inverted W. He had a lot of arm pain and was pretty much stuck in the low 80s. And so the first thing I started with, and here is a picture of Eric back in the day training, and this was him. He had an inverted W, which was the elbow above, and so I started out with getting these pads and taping them together so they had to hold it. So Eric would hold it like this, and then he would throw. And I noticed that, and then here, so he could get a feel for these things, and it did work. And we started out with 1, and then we went to 2, and then pretty soon I got to 3. And the origin story of the connection ball goes something very much like this. It was down there in the barn. I was using these. And I was taping them together, working with Eric. And I called Mr. Oates of Oates Specialties, and I said, Robert, I think we found some things that are very, very, they're going to be revolutionary to what we're trying to do. And I think you should purchase a lot of these because we're going to make these very useful to a lot of people. And several days before, Mr. Oates had brought me this ball, and he just said, I want you to have this, see if there's any use for this in all of your training. Is there something that you could use this with? And it was literally sitting at my feet while I was calling Mr. Oates. And I said, Robert, I really like these, and I think we can use 1 pad. We can tape 2 of them together. We can tape 3 of them together. And he said to me, Ron, I think that's a really good idea. I'm excited for you, but do you remember that ball that I gave you the other day? And I said, yes, I did. And he said, would that work? Would that be of benefit? And of course, I went, absolutely. That's actually far better. And so the connection ball, whether you dislike it or like it, really is all over both in hitting and in pitching these days. You'll find it has become now something that is much more mainstream, and I would even actually say mainstream. And it started at the Texas Baseball Ranch, and it actually started with not this, but this concept. And so a lot of times I joke in all good humor that sometimes it is the things that we got, the things that we figured out were much more fortuitous or lucky or just pure perspiration than inspiration. So it wasn't that we were so smart that we figured this out. We kind of were working on it, and something was right there and really helped us. So that became the connection ball, and we use it in these three ways. We put it in the one position here, which is what Eric didn't need so much at the time. He needed it in this position because he had inverted, a high inverted, and then we use it also in the glove side. The reason I bring it to your attention, ladies and gentlemen, is here's Greg Maddox, and at weight-bearing heel plant, which is where we're going to begin most of our, obviously our rotation begins into foot plant, but at foot plant and into foot plants when we really have to have everything together so that we can forcefully rotate without putting extra stress for micro trauma on soft tissue. As you can tell at weight-bearing heel plant, the ball would have fit really well in here. At weight-bearing heel plant, his ball would have been really good in here and fit really well in here. And then here on the glove side would have fit really well in here. So we knew that regardless of what the disconnection was, the connection ball had some significant possibilities for helping us in correcting that disconnection.